Okay. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. If any member has reason to believe that this meeting is being held in violation of this act, they should state so at this time. Other than that, pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. David?
We got Hope. Hope.
Not yet.
Justine.
Here.
Kim.
Here.
Chris. Michael.
Here.
Angela. Barbara.
Here.
Randall. Sarah.
Here.
Charlotte. Gretchen.
Here.
Mr. Yeager. David.
Okay, we have the minutes of August 27th, 2024. Everybody had a chance to look those over? Anybody want to make any additions or corrections? Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second, someone?
I second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We had no planning board last month. In fact, it's canceled for this evening also. We do have an outstanding review that we're waiting for a revision of one of the applications that we heard. The planning board approved it, but subject to a resubmission of the plan, of the site plan, and we have to review it to make sure that we are in agreement with it. And Karen's on vacation, but we haven't got the revised site plan yet, so we're waiting on that. Once we get that, we'll look at it and we'll either give a thumbs up or thumbs down on that. Council report, Mike is away, you said? Mike's away? Okay. Dune Day, October 6th. Who wants to take the lead on that?
All right, so for Dune Day, the updates would be that we're getting the grass dropped off on October 5th by churches. They're asking for a time frame, like a window, so I'm thinking after 12 o'clock. What they can do is they can drop off the bundles of the dune grass at the locations that we want to have them drop them off at. So if anybody here, or if I can get some volunteers from the cleanup day before to kind of help me put those in those locations and kind of cover them back up with sand to keep them good for the next day. Other than that, I mean, we're pretty much ready to go. I got all the material in. We got our little poles in to make the holes for the grasses, so we're kind of ready to go. All good stuff.
So what, the list that we collected of people that were interested in helping us, how are we notifying them?
I've got one. Hope did send a message to the entire garden club, and she wrote, "Greetings. As a member of the city's environmental commission, I am volunteering for Dune Day on Saturday, October the 6th. It's a time to plant American beach grass, seaside goldenrod on the dune sites between the convention center and the cove. Most of the former plantings were destroyed when showers were installed at the beach entrances. We will join other local groups, each assigned a place along the boardwalk to install plugs of the plants and hold back erosion and provide food and shelter for our migrating birds and insects. This is a fun couple of hours and really important for the survival of our environment and beaches. And it's not hard work. Please be a part of this community effort And thank you very much. Hope.
So what's going on that Friday?
On that.
Saturday.
Well, it's on
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, I'm sorry. What's going on that Saturday?
So Saturday, we have a beach cleanup.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to clean up this section that we're going to be planning the day before. To kind of make sure nothing there is dangerous and obviously make everything look cleaner so we can see exactly where we're planting at. And that'll be also the day that they're going to be dropping off all the plants, which are an event's from 10 to 12. That's been posted on social media, the city website, and we have flyers also.
Okay, I mean, I can be there on that day wherever we're going to meet on that, that's fine. Anybody else is,
Beach Patrol Headquarters.
what's that?
Beach Patrol Headquarters.
Okay.
And then one last thing also, so with the Dune Day, we do still need leaders for Section B. I'm sorry, TMC Section B. So if anybody wants to also be a team leader, just let me know. And then also, we're adding one more location behind Mermaids. There was a lot of things cleared out and cut back that weren't supposed to be cut back. So I'm going to replan there also. So that'll be another little section we'll add on to it, which is Mermaids right
And
behind.
it's all for that 2-hour period?
I'm sorry?
That's all for that 2-hour period?
Yeah,
you're talking about?
yep.
I can head up that wherever you want me to be.
Yeah, I mean, I got a golf cart ready to go. 2 hours is,
But we're
we
going to
have
start at the beach?
beach patrol also, yep, for both days. Mhm.
Okay, that's fine. Anybody else have any more comments on that?
Well, so I want to take a step back.
Okay.
That we're also talking about other opportunities to recruit volunteers. So there's Monarch Festival on, oh, wait a minute, there's Oktoberfest on Saturday, this Saturday, the 28th, and then Monarch Fest on Sunday, the 29th. And at the Environmental Commission's tables, that's going to be a big thing that we're promoting. And you have extra flyers.
Yeah.
Does anyone know where our banner is?
Oh, I have one of them. I have one of them.
Thank you.
Solved.
I'll have to bring this.
So that would be for Monarch Fest and for
Yes,
Oktoberfest?
right.
Okay. And is it just like a plain banner goes over the table, or
Remember, it was the ones that were hanging on the fronts of the tables at Harbor Fest.
I have a rolled up tube, I think you may give me.
We'll need that for Monarch Fest. It's the one about the dark sky stuff and how lights affect migrating birds
Oh,
and
good.
butterflies and stuff. I think we should use that,
That's great,
yeah.
yeah.
And can you, those 3 brochures that I sent you, the one about the birds, there was one about health, birds, and safety.
Was that for the night skies?
It is, and I don't know whether or not we have extras from the last time we did this, that we had the bird, the animal one, the wildlife one. I don't know if anybody has, maybe Hope does, if anybody has any extra brochures from that. Maybe you could just at least print out the wildlife one, 25 copies, we don't need a lot.
And if anybody has any literature on Dune importance, that would be,
I have a Dune folder at work, I'll see what's in it.
if anything, because that'd be a nice way, because I can put that in with your submissions to New Jersey. Because we're talking about why it's important. And
Your Monarch Fest, do you have that, are we set up for that, for people to show up to handle that? Or was that pretty well straightened away?
Yes,
For one table, correct?
yes.
Okay. I mean, I can't make it that day, and I was telling some other people, my mother's turning 100 tomorrow. And so there's a whole bunch of people coming in till Sunday, so it's just going to be hectic for me, so I can't make it for that. But hopefully we'll get people there for that. As long as you have enough people showing up.
The other thing is that we start on Thursday, we start our Harborside Chats at the Nature Center. So the lecture series every Thursday, and I just put a plug in for this Thursday, very excited about it. We have Carla Dove, who's the director of the Feather Lab at the Smithsonian Institution, and her research is about bird strikes in airplanes, and it's her job to figure out what kind of bird it was that hit an airplane and how it affects aviation. And we reached out to her, and she's coming into town. So we're kicking off Harborside Chats, but at Harborside Chats, I can have like a sign-up sheet and have the flyers. Just remind me, is there a final flyer for Dark Sky Day?
Almost.
Almost, okay.
I just have to add, I sent Dave one yesterday. I just have to add the time and the Cape May logo, and then I think it's good to be approved, right?
And that's just more of like an open house event. It's not
Correct.
getting people to sign up ahead of
Correct, yeah.
time.
It's just kind of
Okay.
show up and.
I'll just make sure that those things are there for the people that come.
And then for Oktoberfest, I'm waiting to hear back from the chamber still for the time frame of the volunteers who can work the table. So whoever said they can work, I'll just kind of send out, this is the time frame, whatever hours you can work, that'd be great. I'll just put you in for those hours, and then whatever hours are still not taken, I can go myself and pick up those hours, so. And basically, just gonna be flyers, I'm assuming we'll hand out flyers. Anything else anyone wants to hand out other than flyers? I can bring with me or print out more, just let me know.
I was not in attendance at the last two meetings, so perhaps I missed some information regarding Dune Day. But, for instance, if we're handing out flyers at Oktoberfest and someone asks, well, where should we report to? Or how long is the commitment? Like, what are the answers to those, FAQs?
So, you don't have to pre-register, you can show up the day of.
Okay.
The only thing we require is everybody to fill out a waiver, which would be manned by somebody at the table that day of.
Okay.
As long as they can stay, that's great, we're not gonna make people stay. If they can give us an hour, great, it's from 10 to noon, which is gonna be in the flyer. So anytime they can do it would be fantastic. Ideally, the way, I think a good way to run it would be you have your team leaders, and then for each, I guess, couple, with each person in that group working, you'll have one person digging a hole, another person handing them the stems of grass. So kind of like a team duo, which would be the best way to do it. When it gets closer to the event, I was going to send out an email, what a team leader should be doing, I think, might be a good idea. But other than that, you really haven't missed much.
And then are all of the volunteers to meet at one location before
Yeah.
dispersing? Okay.
At headquarters, and then we'll have
And then,
the people there go out with the group leader.
okay,
And the group leader's like, I had this section here, this is what I'm hoping for you to do in terms of digging and then planting.
okay.
This is our section. And kind of, be careful, don't pick up anything that's sharp, this type of safety procedures. I would also talk about maybe wearing long pants if you're going to be at Oktoberfest, and talk about the program too. This time of year, you can get ticks, poison ivy, things like that, so we're recommending people wear long pants, which is also an add too, so. Don't have water there, things
I
like that. so.
anticipate getting poison ivy, no matter what I do.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah.
You need help with when that stuff is delivered?
I can use definitely some help. He said it's about 2 truckloads
Okay.
worth of bundles. Each bundle is the size of a pineapple, where all the grasses are wrapped into, and then we'll have the quart size of goldenrod too. So if I can get like 3-4 people total,
And where do you want to stand for that?
if we can meet at HQ, at headquarters on the 5th at noon, as soon as the what should we call it's over, I'm sorry, as soon as the
Beach cleanup?
beach cleanup's over. Thank you.
So it's the 5th, you want people at noontime
Yeah,
at headquarters again?
correct, yes, yep.
And then we're providing gloves and shovels.
Yep, so we have gloves, we'll have trash bags there just in case. They're not shovels, we're using broomsticks. I ordered 60 of them, so basically you put a broomstick in the ground, you twist it around so it makes that nice little deep hole, and then you drop it right in there. And then you want to do so many inches per, so I'm going to kind of draw a line on the poles, so you can put the pole down, measure it to the next thing, and then put it into the ground and then do it. so.
What time on the 5th do you want this to be there to help with unloading this stuff? What do you think? What time? This is for the plants now,
Oh, yeah, around noon.
around noon?
Yeah, yep. And it's from churches, so, and then they've been really good with working with me with
Are
time.
they all going to be delivered there? You're going to put them to different beaches at that point? What are you going to do? Is it going to be, we're going to take them when we go on?
We're going, so he's going to pull up in the truck, and he's going to drop off loads of where we want him to drop off
That's
the
what-
loads at.
okay.
Yeah, so it's like, we want you to drop off a quarter of it here, a quarter of it there, and a quarter of it there.
And then the next day, you're just going to go there, and the plants are already going to be there?
Correct, yeah. Yep. So then each team leader can pick up, how many they want, give to the person, or they want to pick up themselves and say, hey, this is the section we want to do. Give yourself 18 inches, don't plant in lines. I'll have everything written down, a little like one sheet for everybody to look at and kind of have an idea. And I sent it to everybody out before that day also, too. So
18 inches apart?
that's what our quote was at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if you took the poles and marked off 18 inches on the poles, so you lay one pole down
Yeah.
with the spark, and then,
I was gonna draw like a line, like if this was the pole, I was gonna draw a line like 18 inches up so to make a way to pull down. But if you have a better idea, please.
no, I'm just saying the pole, you have one pole is your spacer, and the other one is the digger. So the spacer would
Oh,
have
gotcha.
marks on it if you're doing them 18 inches apart from each other.
Okay.
Is that, or, right?
Yeah.
It just is to get it going. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm honestly a little worried that 2 hours isn't long enough, but we got to get a lot of volunteers,
Yes.
so
I have
a
one
lot to do.
question about the volunteers then. So at Oktoberfest, for instance, we're handing out, hopefully a lot of flyers. Is there any sort of follow-up that, like, a reminder? Should I be trying
We
to
don't
gather
have, like-
emails or phone numbers or?
I mean, we could if somebody signs up a piece of paper, but we don't have like a remind system at all, nothing like
A
that.
text reminder that could go out or something? I don't know. It seems like the kind of thing where so many people are going to take the flyer, but that maybe 2 days before they need to be reminded. Hey, I know Oktoberfest was fun, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you got emails and we could do it from the nature center. We could do an email blast reminder, hey, we'll see you tomorrow. That's something I could do if,
I'll try to do that.
yeah.
With like a sign-up sheet again?
Yeah,
Because I did email the people that signed up at Harbor Fest, but we haven't been taking RSVPs. The flyer doesn't say anything, because we were kind of talking about that beforehand, to not put RSVPs.
yeah.
And seeing the work for at least the beach cleanups, I kind of did that off like how the beach cleanups go.
I don't think we need RSVPs, but maybe a reminder.
And maybe we'll do another social media blast for sure.
Okay, so I'll try to get contact information then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So the actual plantings on the dunes now, I mean, like, the dune is, what, how wide? I mean, where are we putting this stuff, like, in comparison to, like, to the promenade? I mean, what are we doing there? I mean, is there a way to do this and not a way to do this? You know what I mean? Or is it whatever gets planted, it's all good no matter where it is on the dune? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I do have a map, and on the map, I sent them out, and I make more copies. Circled on the map is the dune, and then also the location where we're replanting on the dune, like precisely where it's going to be. Where like the big bare spots are on the
That's
dune.
fine, as long as I don't want people planting stuff where they really shouldn't.
No, and it's all native too, so if you get some random piece of grass or goldenrod planted somewhere, it's fine, because it is all native, so it's not gonna take over anything that's.
I know these are stupid questions, but
No, it's not.
People.
It's not, no. I mean, everything in Pickens is all native, so if somebody was to plant it somewhere else that wasn't on the map, it's fine. It's all for the good cause.
see that map again?
Yeah, for sure, yep.
I mean, if you wanted, we do have a bunch of wooden stakes at the nature center. If for any reason you wanted to stake out the area, and so it's very
That would be
obvious.
Great, to see if, people would,
Like, work in this area, and
I can do that.
I probably have
I have cones.
50 stakes. Oh, yeah, well,
I have cones too.
Maybe-
No, that's a great idea. I can do that for
maybe a few
everybody.
days ahead of time, just mark out where you think we ought to be putting all this.
For sure, yep.
That would be great, I think. Any more comments on,
and I'm assuming this is rain or shine.
Yeah. No rain date because we can't hold the grasses. So I might be out there to midnight planting myself. So, it's what it is. But yeah, they'll all be planted. And if it goes past 12, I mean, I'm going to stick around. And so that's what the point does every single year. And it takes about 2 hours.
Okay.
So, and our section's smaller than what they do. and everything is a little bit more closer, because we're doing a smaller concentrated section, so I'm not having people walk 200 yards this way, 200 yards, it's within 100 yards, so it's not like everybody's spread really far. And I do have the golf cart, if someone needs to kind of go back and forth quickly, so.
Have we done this before, like this?
This is the first time that I know of and city manager knows of, so it's something new to,
I mean, it'd be nice, once you did it this year, then we can follow it up and then learn from whatever the mistakes
Oh, for
are.
sure.
And just do it better the next time, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Anything else on Oktoberfest or,
so I took a video of before pictures. So I had PD do a video with the drones of the whole section, so you can see progress, because I would assume something we're gonna do, if not every year, every other year maybe, so at least people can see the progress of what we're doing, so. And I do have that. I think I sent it out at one point also, so.
anything else on Monarch Festival or anything like that? Anything we've talked about up to this point? Okay, then next is Dark Sky Program. Sarah, you got anything on that?
So I just put together a flyer. I have to add 2 details on it, and then that should be approved by Dave, so we can start sending that out and around.
And one of the big updates was that we got a time, a concrete time, so it's going to be from 7 to 9. And just to rehash on the main things, there's going to be at Convention Hall. We're going to be using inside the lobby for presentations and tables. And then we're also going to be using the outside deck for viewing purposes. I was thinking about going down to the Cove, but I think it's going to be too far. It's too far for people to walk down at night, so we're going to keep it the first year. I think at Convention Hall, maybe in the future we'll do that, but I think it's going to be too much for people traveling back and forth, especially the equipment, so I don't think it's a good idea. So everything's going to be at Convention Hall this year.
Are there outside lights that can be dimmed?
Yep, so we talked to the police department, they're going to turn all the outside lights off. So we're going to be, the only lights that might be tricky would be the county lights, but I think they're far enough back where it shouldn't be too bad, but now I'm going to put down some little lights on the walk so people can get up the stairs safely.
Anybody else comments on that? That's the 7 to 9 then at Convention Hall.
Yep, and it's open to public, it's free, and it's just, you don't have to be there at 7, just doors open at 7, so people can come in.
Harborview Park redesign, Gretchen, anything on that? Okay.
There's nothing yet.
Haven't been any meetings on that at all, as far as you know?
No.
Okay. Okay, new business. I guess something about pushing native plants articles and that kind of thing. Anybody have any push on that?
I don't know, maybe remind me where we are with this. I have to tell you, I just got the new copy of Cape May Magazine and just quickly opened it, and the garden article was about planting lawns, and I did like a speed review of it. And the beginning of the article is great, talking about like the reasons why we don't want to have lawns, and that they're, water demanding and non-native species, and it's kind of setting up for an argument of not having lawns. But then it goes into, well, this is what you want to do if you're going to have a lawn in Cape May, and the pictures were all these big lush lawns, and it got me really mad. And I feel like, I think I have to write a letter to the editor, to the magazine, because it just wasn't the right message. I just didn't I have to read the full article, but it's just not really, the way we should be going in this community. Yet we see it all the time with all new development that's happening. Is they build a house, they put in sod, and it's everywhere. So how can we as a commission really get the word out, whether it's one thing is education and another is regulation? Is there any way that we encourage the city to change landscaping ordinances? But Just wanted to share that. I have to go back and actually read the article, but it just didn't seem to be the right message.
Any thoughts, anybody?
I think that over the years, we had hoped that we might have some power to get the rules of our ordinances pertaining to the environment enforced. And we had hoped that an enforcement officer from the city could make this happen, a specialized enforcement officer who knows about the environmental needs of Cape May City, and knows all of our ordinances and all of the things that we've been talking about for at least 40 years or more. And Gretchen, you're really right. I mean, we have a zoning officer, but a specialist in the environment would be my hope, with a small stipend. And this person might be a student at ACCC, might be from a nearby college, maybe somebody working toward a degree. And I think it would be very helpful to get the word out. Just my personal opinion.
Well, I know some communities in their government, there are positions, and they might call them like sustainability officer or whatever. So it's not just looking at, landscaping, it's looking at all the sustainable, eco-friendly practices. And I know Cape May City has done things, and we have an administration that has pushed for certain things like the charging stations and the use of solar. But there's a lot more that we can be doing. And there are ordinances, there were landscape ordinances that suggested the use of native plants, but I guess they're just not strong enough and they're not enforced enough. We make recommendations to the planning board, make suggestions on the landscape plans, and sometimes it gets accepted, but then it isn't always enforced. But, we're all seeing it, the proliferation of lawns in the city, and it seems like more and more of it is happening.
Well, in terms of getting back to this position that might be in the future, there are certainly grants available, and one that I recently saw, EPA has selected educational organizations to receive almost $4 million for support. And this was just announced in July of this year's winning people. And over again, they're talking about the greening that we need to go forward. And here in the state of New Jersey, some of the winners were, for example, Rowan University did get one of these grants, and they're very close. And perhaps one of their recipients might be willing to spend a summer here in Cape May City and help with some of the things that we need to do.
What specifically is the grant for, is it,
No, what is it?
what is it for? Is it,
It depends on the group and what.
does it say what Rowan got, what it was for?
No, I didn't go that far with
Okay.
it. But certainly environmental education. But you're right. I think also we have a very very aggressive green team, and Mr. Rotula knows a lot about finding grants for the city. So I think that that's a fine way for some of our employees to be helping get the extra assistance that we need to make sure that our environment is protected in all ways.
Recently, in the past 6 to 8 weeks, my husband and I were able to facilitate an official relationship between Columbia University and the city of Cape May. And the graduate school students in sustainability management have selected Cape May and are going to be taking on various projects for what they call their capstone. So we had our first meeting with the city manager last week to discuss like what the first year's capstone would be. But the professor who's heading the capstone projects for this team of sustainability managers is foreseeing it being a multi-year relationship with different projects each year. So in the first meeting, I did mention compliance and the need for a sustainability officer, or perhaps the development of some sort of program or structure that would help us enforce our current ordinances. I don't know if it will be selected as the first year's project or the third year's project, because there are so many things that we need to address, but it was discussed. So
Excellent.
we
Thank
shall
you.
see.
Would that be just?
That's exciting.
Would that be a hands-on type?
Yes,
project
so
then?
they will be coming here. They haven't decided what their focus will be the first year. It could be involving the seawall, it could be desalination or water infrastructure, perhaps some collaborative project trying to build a better relationship between the HPC and the Environmental Commission for building. They're still working through the details of it, but the idea is that Cape May is a very unique community that is kind of at the, it's both very fragile and very special, and the sustainability managers there were very excited to get involved. So
Are they going to go through the manager's office, or are they going to?
they already are.
Okay, so we're going to be just,
So the mayor, the manager, myself, and my husband were in the meeting last week. There's actually also an official Columbia University course being run out of the Science Center this coming semester that is going to turn that building into a sustainable building as well. So it seems as if the university is kind of taking on this broader community as a project in helping achieve our collective vision. So some sort of list of our asks would be great, and sustainability officer is already on it. The degree is in sustainability management. That's what these individuals are working towards. So, that can be anything from putting together conceptual plan for a long-term, like large-scale infrastructure project, or it could just be as simple as how do we define the duties of a city employee to include compliance and enforcement.
okay.
Interesting. Fabulous.
As far as anybody, this is an ongoing thing about these articles or anything that we want to push, just keep thinking about it, and if you have anything that really strikes you that we ought to be doing, just get it to Dave, and we can put it on the agenda, okay?
Yep.
Public portion, you're the public out there, you want to say anything? You got anything? Okay. Okay. You have something you want to say, Charlotte,
I
about
do.
clean energy?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
absolutely, of course. So today, I'd like to introduce to our commission something that isn't, beyond our expectations, but a new area of recycling that we haven't talked about. People do this maybe on their own, but it's something that I think we could possibly get out to the public a little more, and it's about clothing. This is the time of year when people are going through their closets, and they're saying, oh, I can't wear this anymore, or blah, 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 or blankets or sheets or things of that variety. So in my history, I'd like to say that historically, clothing was recycled. And in particular, growing up in the 1940s, and I'm going to date myself a bit, we had World War II. And during that time, I can remember parents and grandparents taking cloth and putting it out, and it was collected by a special agency to be reused for parachute making, for uniforms, and for bedding. And it was something that you'd put out beside your trash weekly, this cloth. And then on a personal level, I can remember a grandmother of mine, Grandmother Charlotte, who took my grandfather's coat, and it was a perfectly wonderful woolen coat, and made a snowsuit for myself and my brother out of that coat. And it was a practical use of the clothing that we had around the house. We were not a throwaway society at that point. Everything was used and reused. So today, I'm thinking about Cape May County, and that we have, in some locations, established donation outlets for cloth. And we're going to go into that in a little while, a little more fully. But I'd also like to say that there are creative entrepreneurs worldwide. The Taiwanese people at this point are using oyster shells along with recycled bottles to create something called sea wool textiles. And they are claiming that it's a great insulator against the cold. It's odorless and provides UV protection and has elastic properties. It's just something that we can look into to see how they're coming along. But if we look here in the county, I would like to say that Kim Gronendahl has taken that look for us and has something to tell us.
So my cousin Darcy was visiting the last couple of weeks, and she's a thrifter. So this was great for us. I got a list of thrift shops around, and we went and looked at most of them, to be honest with you. And there's also the Habitat Restore up in Courthouse, which are all really good sources to drop off your clothes, used clothes, shoes. So I've started this list, and I will continue to add to this. And it actually just reminded me that there's boxes, I think it's called Helpsy, and they're actually outside the big boxes that you can put stuff into, and I'm going to add that to this list also. And also, I was involved with a thrift store up in Bucks County, and even if the clothes are not quite resellable, they will still take them because they sell them by the pound. And I'm not really sure what they do with them. I think they ship them out of the country, and then they recycle them and reuse them also. So I would like to get some sort of a little brochure together with all that information on it to pass on. And I have to thank Justine, too, for sort of starting this, too, with the Ocean Fest. We had a booth that talked about electronic recycling, and thank you for the brochure, so I'm kind of going off on that. So there's a lot of things we can recycle, and we need to do more recycling, and this is a good start with some clothing. And there's consignment, too. There's a consignment shop right in Cape May. So lots of options.
And as I researched this topic, I found that the environmental impact of fast fashion compromises the depletion of non-renewable sources such as greenhouse gases. It emits more greenhouse gases by using fast fashions, and it uses massive amounts of water and energy. The fashion industry has been said to be the second largest consumer in industry of water, requiring about 700 gallons to produce one cotton shirt. So that's incredible. Then there are synthetic brands such as polyester, nylon, and acrylic, which take hundreds of years to biodegrade. The production of making plastic fibers in textiles uses an excessive amount of energy. And pesticides are used for the growth of cotton and does present some health risks to farmers. To counter this waste, fast fashion, sustainable fabrics that can be used more successfully and not hurt the environment as much would be wild silk, linen, and some kinds of cottons. So as you're looking and shopping, it's advisable to be careful about what you're purchasing and not just for, the lark of going along and having a day out to shop. Be careful, shoppers.
I'll just add, a friend of mine who lives here in Cape May, his company is called Beautiful Rags, and they are one of those companies that will buy the extra clothes and things, and then they somehow break apart the fibers and rebuild them and create industrial rags. So it's a New Jersey-based company. They were in Camden, now they're in Belmar, I think, but John Gartland lives here in Cape May, and that's what the business is, taking old clothes and turning them into another useful product.
Can you get those addresses for us?
Yeah.
Because that should be a part of our brochure, anything that's local.
The other thing is, like, this information, I think about how do we distribute this? And the Chamber of Commerce's book that they work with the city of Cape May, the annual book about businesses and has maps, and maybe there should be a page, a recycling page that has lots of options, information about, what is recycled. It might be in there, I don't even know, I have to look at it. But this is more of the story, more to it, so.
And we do receive some amazing information from the city manager. The letters that are sent out are just incredibly detailed. I'm very impressed. But it would be wonderful to include, I think, at least some of this local information about recycling as well. That might be a winter topic that could be covered that way, too.
Food for thought. For sure.
The other thing is, I know that Wildwood Crest used to do it, West Cape May does citywide yard sales,
What did you say?
citywide yard sale days.
That's right. We did.
And I don't think Cape May City does it, but West Cape May, it's pretty popular, and Wildwood Crest, I think a lot of it brings in people, and it's another way to not have things end up in the trash bin.
Yeah, I also went to, I don't know, it could be Cape May Day or whatever it was, and they had different recyclers there, like bring your clothes, bring musical instruments. And like it was a local music store, and that person would take whatever and probably resell it or, fix it or whatever it needed to be done. So something, I think one of the high school soccer teams was collecting clothes. There's a lot of different options. Do something like that.
A lot of times, people don't know what to do with their stuff. They really
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
And they'll just find some outlet to, if you know where you could send it to, we're always looking at, where can I put this? I don't want to throw it away.
Right.
I want to do something with it, or someone else can do something with it.
It's jogging my memory now that Cape May City Elementary School parent-teacher group for several years had somebody, a connection, who came and we dropped off the items right at the school into, the truck. And shoes were involved. You could recycle the shoes as well. And then it was sold by this dealer, and the school itself did receive some money for the parent-teacher group. So that was a terrific, I'll have
They
to try to
still
find
do.
out who that was.
They still do it.
They still do it?
Yeah, we did it last year. It was sending in old shoes. And they were retained and then sold, and there was a portion of the proceeds that the school retained.
So if you
I
know when
don't
the
know.
truck is there,
Okay, when they send home the letter, I will look
great.
and find out more information about it. I don't remember what time of year it was, but it,
Right.
comes home in the backpack, so.
Okay, terrific.
I mean, do they want more? Because you think
Yeah, they
about
do.
the number of residents in Cape May that don't have school-aged children, we don't know about those things.
So I had contacted everyone in my family, my whole extended family, like saying, give me your old shoes, and dropped off a whole giant bag of them. So yes,
People just don't know how to get access to this information, really.
yeah. Okay, so I'll bring it to the commission and publicize it.
There was also something about, like athletic equipment. Kids grow out of their, whatever, lacrosse or soccer, whatever, and then they would do like a swap. And I don't know if the school does that here. I mean, that would probably be the best, venue for them to do that, too.
And interestingly, we did have two big bins outside of our Acme's here, one in the city and then one in Lower Township, that the veterans had for recycling clothing, and they're both gone now. I think during COVID, that had to be something of
I
a
think they
crunch.
still might be in North Cape May.
No,
No, they're not
it's
there either?
gone, no.
Yeah, well, I saw a couple of boxes. I'm going to look into those. I think it was Helpsy, I think it was the name of the thing on it. I took a picture of it, so I'll figure, maybe there's locations where they are throughout the county.
Excellent, thank you, Kim.
As we are just wrapping up, I have the bill from the Storm Wave for the ads, the newspaper ads, so I'll have to give that to,
David?
give it to you? And give it
to the
to
manager.
Aaron, I
Sure.
guess? And then also, I need to let them know when we want to stop running the ads, and, perhaps we should do it like 2 or 3 more times and put the Dune Day and the Dark Sky event in instead of what had currently been running.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So would you mind emailing me the final copy of the event flyer, and then I can send it over? Okay, cool.
I think there's an invoice, you have an invoice that has to be paid?
Yeah, it's right here, and actually, one
I
of
think it was
them,
like up, that first office right up there where the assistant manager is, right up there. She should go up the stairs and make a left. It's the first office on the left now. I think that's where you would bring that invoice.
Justine, do they need to be certain sizes? For the
4 by 8.
paper? 4 by 8, okay.
This is the first one that had arrived to me when Meryl resigned. She asked for a new address. She had been receiving them. And then I just received this in the mail, but it does look like there was there were outstanding invoices.
I know I had one paid for sure, when there was, when I had the banner made. The guy said he wasn't paid for the last one. So I took the invoice, and I think we got that one paid, because he told me it was paid.
I don't know what was happening, but it looks like there are now 3 months' worth of invoices that have not been paid. This is the first one that I received, though. So,
Bring 'em-
Just bring him up to this, because she should have a record of the purchase orders, if whatever there are. to pay
Yeah.
these things, Okay? They will take that.
Okay. great.
I mean, that's what happens when you got part-time people trying to get people paid.
Yeah,
It happens all the time. And even then, when you have full-time people handling it, it still doesn't get done. So, but we'll try and we'll move on that.
okay.
Anybody else have anything for the good of the order here? Motion to adjourn? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Dave. Good stuff.
The only thing I would say about that, yeah, when you start with these posts, coastal housing, you think that the weekend, before Memorial Weekend to May.
Bye-bye.